Alright, what's up guys? It's Jessa and special guest, my mom, Judy. And
hi to Ed.
Yeah, there, she got it out of the
Hi Ed!
I'm glad you remembered. So I do have a few questions that people wrote in, but we'll start out with just introduce yourself and it's homesteading channel, so homesteading related.
I was 22 years old when I bought my house, barn, and 3 acres of land for $14,000. This was 1982, so, you know, been there ever since. I've been there like 38 years, and it's a process. Last year, 2020, you know, this year, didn't do a damn thing. I think I grew some poppies, and that was about the extent of my homesteading.
You had a few tomatoes, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a few tomatoes, just little in a pot by the back door. The reason for that was I work at Zeb's over in Bedford, and since the COVID thing, you know, there was cheap hogs, the packing houses were shutting down, everybody's wanting meat, so we were just really crazy busy all year, and now we're into deer season, which is another crazy season, and so I've worked a lot, just not at the homestead.
Yeah, you're one of the only lockers still open.
Yeah, Zeb's is one of the only lockers still open in the area. They're taking deer. I mean, the other ones are open, but we're the only ones taking deer. And
you know why that is, that they're not even taking deer?
Not really for sure. I mean, some people say this, some people say that. Don't really know for sure, but it's like, hey, we're busy.
Yeah.
That's really actually a good thing.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, but it's like, I'm tired.
Yeah. So talking about 2020, one of the questions that we got, and I did give her a little bit of a sneak peek on the questions. So advice and thoughts on 2020 and how are you handling it?
Like I said, just busy at work. Basically eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep, work.
You are definitely an essential.
Yeah, we're essential. So there for a while we had I know Zeb was getting extra money so he could pay us more, and that was pretty sweet, the short little time that it existed. But I guess there's another round of help coming.
Hopefully, yeah.
So that all helps.
Any advice?
Not really. I mean, if you're working, yay. I don't know what in the world you would do if you weren't working and really no money to put towards doing anything. So that would be a bad place to be.
Yeah, we were kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum, I guess, for COVID. I mean, like I've explained before, I lost my job, and that's what kind of prompted this and trying to get started, but I was behind the 8 ball when I lost my job. It was already like, you should be planting the garden, and so I hadn't bought seeds or anything, and then you just got real busy.
Yeah, we got real busy, and it's like, I'm getting too old to do too damn much of your time.
Yeah. And then, because typically in the summer, your business kind of slows down.
Yeah, we slow down in the summer, except for, a few hogs, butcher a few beef, but, there was some days I had like a 5-day weekend. It's like, yay!
Not this year.
Not this year.
So another writer question is, how did you inspire me to live a subsistence lifestyle?
You were just raised that way, basically. I mean, I had a fortunate situation where I was a stay-at-home mom, and you were only about 6 months old when I started getting rabbits, and just kept going. We had hogs for a while, and chickens, ducks, geese, just because I had time to take care of it. Yeah, you didn't like geese. But you know, it's like, it's time-consuming stuff. All this stuff is time-consuming. And when I was younger, I could do the stuff and still work. I remember getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, go out and milk the goats before I went to my 7 to 4 job, and then get off work. I gotta go milk the goats. And that's like, how the hell did I do it? Gotta be young.
Well, you're talking about rabbits. So one of the questions was your favorite farm animal, and I was going to venture to say rabbits.
Yeah, probably rabbits, because they're quiet. I mean, you can have them in town. They're not messy or dirty. They don't stink. They don't make noise. And they're really good to eat.
Yeah. So what prompted you, like, how did you even get started? Because when you got into it, it wasn't
really all that popular. Well, I had goats, and I had a really nice herd of milk goats, and I was learning how to make cottage cheese. I was making yogurt, you know, just really, because I had enough milk to work with. And your dad planted a apple orchard, and the electric fence went down, the goats got out, ate the orchard. That was the end of the goats. And so after that, you know, it's like, I want something, you know, I'm into livestock. So we got rabbits, and pretty much filled the barn up with rabbits. We had rabbit cages outside, and we started showing rabbits, and you know, they're a good homesteading animal. I mean,
Yeah.
That's something everybody can pretty much have.
Yeah, if I can do it.
Yeah, there's kind of a learning curve.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite chore, then, of all the animals, critters, gardening?
Actually, butchering. I mean, because you've got your end product there.
Yeah.
Then you go out and feed them every day and water them every day. But it's like, you know, having the new baby bunnies and then watching them grow and, you know, you ready to butcher yet? You ready to butcher yet? Or in the case of my purebreds, you know, I did sell a lot of those for breeding stock.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's only so many bucks anybody can use, so there's a bunch of rabbits.
Yeah. I like this question. If you could switch places with me for a day, what would you immediately change and why?
I mean, if I could be you and be over here, what would I change?
Yeah.
Good question. I don't know, maybe upgrade some cages and watering and, you know,
Yeah.
I've done your chores before, and some of those cages are a real pain in the ass. How is this freaking door wired on here?
Yeah.
How do you get into this thing?
That's definitely
So,
a
yeah.
goal. You said you used to have the...
Yeah, I found out if you've got a cage that is easy to operate the door, you won't be tempted to we'll dump the water in the top and hope it hits the bowl. And,
I did that this morning.
yeah, it's nice to have good equipment.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially since, you know, twice a day you have to deal with it, and it's like, if you've got a cage that's, you know, I'd kind of weed them out, kind of bring in a few new ones and weed out some of the old
Because I
ones.
inherited some of your cages.
Yeah, some of my old crappy cages.
Yeah, and they're due for repair. So, back to Ed. Ed wants to know if you know how to sex a rabbit.
Yeah, I mean, actually, if you wait long enough, it becomes readily apparent.
That might be, he said he was referencing an old video, and it might be the video where I think I mentioned I was trying to breed 2 bucks together. And that
Didn't work.
Doesn't work that way. So we already got Ed told hi.
Hi.
And then Dawn wants to know what she's doing wrong to start her poppies.
Well, they need to be started really, 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 really early. we're here in Iowa, and I'll start sprinkling some seeds as early as February. And then every time I think about it, I go, sprinkle some more seeds. They are a cold weather thing, because once you get them going, it's like they'll grow and bloom and be done by the 4th of July. So that's an early thing.
Didn't you sprinkle some out here?
Yeah, I don't think they ever did. Well, I never paid any attention.
Well,
I know you didn't pay any attention.
No.
They're so tiny. One thing that helps, if you go get a bag of garden soil,
Oh, yeah.
and cut the top out of it, and then poke holes through the bottom, so you got your drainage, and plant them in that, so there's no weed competition.
Because they're so small.
They're so small and fragile when they get started. You really don't even want to cover them. You just sprinkle them, and then the freeze-thaw cycles kind of works them down.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you bury them, they need light, I think, to germinate.
What is your favorite thing to grow?
Probably the poppies. They are so pretty. And I don't know, can I show my
Oh,
tattoo?
yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know if they can see it, but I've got a poppy tattoo on my arm. 'Cause they are so pretty.
Yeah.
But they don't last very long.
Show your other one while
I'll
you're at
show
it.
my other while I'm
They've
at
seen
it.
mine.
Mushroom and morning glories. And the artist actually, I had pictures of morning glories that I had grown myself, and he incorporated that
Yeah.
back there. That's just giving a little age on it.
Good tattoo artist, because he's done all the ones of mine that they've seen. And Dawn also asked, and I thought this would be fun for you to kind of explain, if you can come help her make elderberry wine. And she said they almost blew up her kitchen when they tried to make it.
My dad was famous for his winemaking, and he had a big chip out of his wooden bar top where one of his bottles of wine exploded, and the piece of glass took a big chip out of his bar and went clear across the room. And I'm thinking, if you were sitting at that bar when that thing went, you might have got hurt.
So is that a skill that you feel you inherited?
I've got the crocks. I never did find my dad's recipe book.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's bajillion out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I'm actually wanting to give that a try. Maybe when I actually retire, and because his mom made wine also.
Oh, I didn't
So
realize
it's like, I better get on it. At least give it a try.
What's the funniest thing you've ever done?
Probably when I got confused on my peas, because I had some regular shell peas, and I had the snow peas, the edible pod peas. And somehow I got those confused and was picking the shelled peas when there was no pea in there.
Oh.
Yeah, that's probably the worst.
That sounds like Travis and I don't think I've ever told this story. Drunk gardening is not...
Yeah, that was a similar experience.
We were getting ready to plant onions. Did Travis and I ever tell you this story?
I don't think.
And I can't remember. I think it was me and Travis, and Tyler was tilling, or Travis was tilling. Anyway, we're just drinking beer, leaning up against the post, not doing much of anything, and somebody was tilling, and then it was like, okay, we're done tilling, let's plant the onions. And the onions were gone, and they'd been sitting right at our feet, and we had hit them with the tiller, and all of our drunk asses didn't even, they had just everywhere. Wildest experience. PG.
Yeah, I was going to say this is a loaded question.
You have to pay extra to get the R-rated version of the interview.
I don't know, probably something to do with hogs getting loose.
Oh, I remember the hog in the swimming pool.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one. We had a big Yorkshire boar named Bubba.
He could dance.
And yeah, he actually could dance. He could also, he figured out, he was big, and he figured out that he could snap the welds on the welded hog panels and go wherever he wants. So one morning we went out there and he's sitting in the middle of the kids' swimming pool. He's all nice and clean and pretty, and the water is just, ugh. And Jess and her brother were just screaming bloody murder because their swimming pool was ruined. I kept trying to tell him, well, get in there and play with him. I didn't fly.
Yeah, I remember that. Was that the one you could get the Oreos out?
Oh, you could get Oreos, apples, just, pretty much anything edible. And you'd kind of, dance it in front of him, and he'd kind of be up on one foot, and then you'd go up on it. So it kind of looked like he was dancing.
So now your goals for 2021.
Do more than I did in 2020, which that ought to be a pretty easy goal to get.
You're looking at your mushrooms.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay more. I didn't even pay any attention to them last year. It was just like, 2020 just sucked.
Yeah.
So 2021 has got to be better, and get in with the gardening a little more.
Are you retiring in 2021?
No.
How many more years?
In order to get everything purchased that I need to purchase, probably, at least 3 more years.
Yeah. Work part-time at post office like me.
I don't think I can handle that. That is working with the public.
And not in Blanchard, it's not.
True that.
Pretty easy. Well, any closing comments, advice, words of wisdom?
Just do whatever you can do. I mean, if you can't afford to order the fancy seeds that you want, go catch them at Walmart when they're like a dime a packet or something. It's like just do something.
Yeah.
It's like it's not gonna be that big of a disaster if it doesn't quite pan out.
Yeah, that's what I think I said in my first video, and maybe I don't reiterate it enough, is like, don't be the enemy of perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah,
just do it.
Do something. You can
learn
improve,
from something.
Improve as you go. Improve as you learn.
I mean, it sucks when you have an animal, and do a little research if you have an animal involved, but still, there's gonna be
some disappointments.
Yeah, it's bound to happen.
And it seems like it's worse when you're starting because, if you've only got a buck and a couple of does, and the buck's not doing his thing, that's pretty much a bummer. But
it's hard.
If you have a whole barn full, and if this buck ain't working, we'll just throw her in with another buck.
Yeah. Start somewhere.
Start somewhere. Start small. You'll eventually get there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's all we've got. So if you ever have any more questions, just let us know. She's always around. She's definitely my go-to when I've got quick questions, and so I think that's all we got. So we'll catch you on the next video. Later.
Bye, Ed.